Hey guys, welcome to your Twin Flame Collective reading. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see what the collective is dealing with and will be dealing with. Let's see the energy coming the collective's way. Alright. Okay. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck we do have the Sun. Alright. Let's see the clarifiers before we dive in any deeper. So let's see the clarifiers for the collective. Right. Okay. Mirroring energy. And we have the Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So, we do have some mirroring energy. Six of Wands showing up twice in the reading. Now, this is a very strong energy of starting over, someone starting over, someone deciding to turn a new leaf. That's what Spirit is showing me, turning a new leaf. And once that decision is made, even though it takes a lot of thinking and weighing options and making a rational decision, there is a fear here. Sorry. There is a fear here of not being able to start over, or when you are starting over, dealing with some issues, some sense of lack. So there is that sense of hesitation to finally put an end to something. This feels to me like something which has been going on for quite some time. It can be a situation, a relationship, a behavioral pattern, a way of interacting or reacting to things that happen. And the ending in itself, though it feels like a very inspired and very good idea, a very good idea, it does come with grief. So in some cases this could also be the energy of someone who has been struggling with health, for instance, or with monetary issues, material issues, or with emotional issues, struggling with something over a while, over some time. And then there's an end to the struggle. There's something which changes. There's something which shifts here. And it is a very clear shift for the better. But it comes with a period of grief. It comes with a feeling of loss, a feeling of grief. And it's perfectly normal to grieve something, even if it's something that perhaps others don't understand, or even if it's something that you personally didn't want to be dealing with or didn't enjoy to be dealing with. The mere process of putting something to bed, if you'd like, for good, and then turning a new leaf, it can come with a segment of grief. It can come with that time of adjusting to the changes, to the shifts in energy, in vibe, in situations, and there's that fear, that anxiety of the unknown, of things you cannot control, of situations that you don't know quite as much about perhaps as you would like or as you would feel comfortable, and that's a part of the journey, dealing with the grief, dealing with the loss of whatever was present and is now coming to a clear and final end. And once this shift happens, there's a very clear change of direction. For some of you, this can be a new job, schooling opportunity, some sort of a scholarship, some sort of a seminar that you get sent to at the very least. For some of you, job opportunities, right? And in some cases, relationship opportunities as well. But this is more the side of the relationship which involves, for instance, actually seeing each other, where perhaps for a while you were long distance, or being in a relationship long distance for a while and getting to see each other or interact with each other much more virtually, let's say, right? So via phone, via messaging, via all of that. And during this process of interacting more in a changed, perhaps way, shifted way, there's a lot of progress being made in that relationship. There's a lot of progress being made for each of you, for you professionally or educationally, if that's what's going on in your particular case. But it feels like a car, and you're revving up the engine, and you're revving up the engine, and then boom, you take off, right? So this is a taking off sort of energy, but it's not necessarily in terms of feelings. So this is not something which involves realizing feelings perhaps, or developing feelings, or it could be confessing feelings in some cases. But the main vibe here is not the actual confession, but more like the changes that we are going to do as a result of that confession. So we've confessed our feelings, or one of us confesses our feelings, right? And because they are well received, right? And the person you are confessing to welcomes that confession, then there are going to be some changes made in the relationship, in the situation, in areas you work in, or topics you work on, people you work with. I'm being called to say as well for some reason. For some of you, that's perhaps part of the dynamics. And you are going through a phase of making very practical, pragmatic changes. They are very well thought out, they are very strategic, they are very inspired, and they are going to produce the results you are hoping for, perhaps not fully all at once. It may be a gradual thing, but it's a very clear upward motion. It's a very clear upward spiral, right? So things are very clearly going better and better here in the situation. And even though your twin flame journey is first and foremost a spiritual journey, and the relationship is a spiritual relationship first and foremost, it does play out for a part of the journey in the 3D while you are both in the 3D. And there are various material realistic, educational, professional, other engagement wise aspects, which are of course going to affect and influence your journey. You may feel perhaps inspired or called to do some changes, and sometimes you can do that, sometimes you find the way to do that, and sometimes you simply cannot find the way right then, or you run into the opportunity you run into the opportunity perhaps to make that change, but you don't feel called to do that right then, or there's something in the details that you're not very much vibing with, that you're not feeling so sold on, right? And sometimes that's part of the journey as well. There's an element of randomness, if you'd like, right, in all of our lives. And it's not so much about the actual result in many cases. It's more about how you react and adjust to that situation, to that event, right? Because we cannot control events coming our way. We cannot manage what's coming our way, but we can manage how we react to it. We can manage how we what we do as a result of whatever has happened or is happening, right? So this is the energy of someone who is going through a segment of their life where they make very inspired, very productive, very abundant choices. They are very strategic, they are very profitable in many cases, and that level of fulfillment, that level of success is going to spill over as well in the other areas of your life, right? So this is more of a feeling of, while you are leading a spiritual life and while you are working on your spiritual connection, you have to as well lead a 3D life. You have to as well make 3D progress, because life requires that skeleton, right? In order for you to flesh out your journey spiritually, you have to have the 3D very clear skeleton of it, right? So the scaffolding. This is very productive, very inspired decision making in order to build that very solid skeleton. For some of you that can mean moving somewhere, for some of you that can mean taking particular job offers or going to study someplace. In many of these cases, you are going to connect with your twin flame or spend more time with your twin flame because of that choice. In some cases, you are going to see your relationship develop and become deeper, more nuanced because of these changes. In some cases, I will say that the changes can bring to light some issues which perhaps weren't as obvious before, and because you see these issues come to light, you may feel like you've perhaps made the wrong decisions, that those choices, those changes weren't inspired. No, that's not the case. You've made the right choices. Spirit is very clear on that. You're making the right choices. You are going in the right directions. It's just a matter of some issues coming to light. By coming to light, you both get the chance, the opportunity to work on those issues and actually resolve them. So even though it's unpleasant to see issues, to run into issues, to be confronted in some cases with those issues head on, you are likely to feel sad or disappointed by that, but by seeing those issues clearly, you can then get the chance to work on them, and that in itself is a great opportunity to grow. And that's what your journey is all about in the end. It's growth and development and ascension, so you can achieve that divine union frequency you are getting these opportunities here. Okay, so let's see the advice from Spirit in this situation. Let's see what's the advice from Spirit in this situation. Daydreams and decisions, right? And on the bottom of the deck, we have third eye chakra. So again, this is Spirit confirming the fact that the decisions being made, the choices being made are in fact divinely inspired, intuitively inspired, and they are leading to working on things. They are leading to bringing things together. See how she's holding her hands? Creating a form of togetherness, right? The heart shape, if you ask me. This is a level of connection that happens as a result of what's going on in the 3D, okay? And in some cases, it may feel like a difficult or a trying situation. Sorry. But in fact, you are getting some opportunities to implement some changes, to introduce some growth, to tackle perhaps some issues or some topics that perhaps you couldn't or wouldn't before making these changes. So that's all for the better here. Now in the extended, we are going to take a look at how these energies play out specifically for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. I hope you will join me there. If not, I'm sending you my highest vibes of unconditional love and support, and we'll be seeing you soon, okay? Bye!